Hello, everyone, and welcome to more Ticket to Ride here on the Sorcerer Network. My name is Sorcerer Matt, and we have a great chance to get to 300 ELO right here. Playing against someone who's 500 ELO, and then a couple of higher level players, plus 200, one plus 300. And the good news, we have some excellent tickets to start. Now, I say that, and then honestly, it's really not that hard to get Portland to Houston, and if I'm doing that, I might as well go Duluth to Houston. Yeah, this is great. So we're looking at going, this top half of the map and then just going right down the middle. I like this plan. Okay, so let us do Seattle to Portland. I always grab Seattle to Portland first. And my reasoning is that if I need to get if two people grabs Vancouver to Seattle, a lot easier to get into Vancouver than it is if two people grab Seattle to Portland, a lot harder to connect those two up because all of the routes out of them all the routes out of Portland besides that one is 5 or 6. So let's just lock all that down. We do have a couple options. Obviously, I would love to go through Helena, Duluth, Toronto, up through Montreal, down to New York. But we can go up through Calgary, Winnipeg, Sault Ste. Marie if we need to. So let's go yellow and orange. And then we do need to watch, just kind of down Dallas to Houston. Let's make sure that, that may inform our decision of how we decide to go. I don't necessarily care that Red wants to go up there. Have at it, man. Do your thing. And probably if there's nothing on board that I want, I'm looking at just grabbing Dallas to Houston with something. Okay, I love a yellow, and I think I'd rather prioritize the yellow first. Because, if I have to go Helena to Omaha and up to Duluth, so be it. But so far, I'm loving that what we need is on board, and we are able to take it. So, yeah, I'm not getting the wilds off the top, but if I don't need wilds, I'm pretty okay with not taking them. I'm locked in, man. I really want to at least get second in this to be able to gain some points. Okay. So we're not really sure where blue's going, and purple probably is going to some type of Miami thing. Okay, so this is an example. There's nothing really on board that I super duper want, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this just so no shenanigans happen. So probably blue, and that would be why I wanted to go Dallas, New York. Probably blue is something I would want, because going New York to Montreal would be great. And then I can start going off the top, because I do need a wild 3 to go Toronto to Montreal. I could go through Boston if I really wanted to, but obviously that's becoming a little bit more gummed up. Looks like blue is on the East Coast, which is totally fine. Can absolutely do that. No problem. So we're not seeing as much orange, but both pink and yellow, we're one away. This is looking great. I don't mind the blue. And then we can go off the top. Hey, look at that. So probably next turn I'm grabbing New York to Montreal, depending on what is on board. Because, if this board stays, I like this. Okay, so we might have some competition through the middle, which is not nothing. That is something to kind of keep an eye out for. Love that we are able to get the yellow here, and I would love it if those orange stayed as well. That would be delightful. Okay. All right. All right. I may want to also prioritize a little bit of like New York to Montreal, Montreal to Toronto, just to kind of get that done. Especially considering that it looks like purple might be coming through the middle of the map. I want to be careful that I don't I don't want to. I want to get the early part of this done. Okay, that is fine. So, okay, this is nice. This is very nice. So we're going to do this, and then we can go the pink. This is pretty excellent, to be honest with you. This is about as ideal of a start as we could hope for. Okay, so I'm going to go with 3 green. We're going to go here. 1 more pink is what we're looking for. And then we will need some pairs. So that's something to watch here. But let's do this, because see here, red's coming this way. And I kind of want to be out of here before red gets into anything. So, like, I'm liking this. Okay, there's blue going into Miami. Okay, red's going south. That's interesting.
Hi, we're going to the library.
You're going to the library? Okay.
Great.
Great. Have a good time.
We will.
I love you.
Love you too.
So, I think that I feel comfortable going off the top here because I do need just a lot of stuff, because now purple has started to come down the middle. And so I do want to be a little bit careful here. I do want to be a little bit careful. Now, it doesn't look like blue or red are gonna interrupt what I'm trying to do, but I still would rather not risk it. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, same thing. I'm not risking this 1 going to somebody. It's just not happening. Okay. So let's grab a pair. Let's do that. Okay. I like this right down the middle. I'm just gonna if there was nobody down the middle, I maybe would change my strategy here, but I'm just going ahead. I'm barreling down. Okay, my apologies for the slight lack of commentary. My children were having a disagreement, and you all didn't need to hear that. Okay, so let's see. So we completed everything. So now we're in great shape. Um, I don't really like. I mean, I guess getting into Atlanta isn't like the worst thing in the world. Atlanta's probably easier than Chicago, honestly. Well, maybe not. I mean, honestly, we probably could do both at this point. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff to get. Let's just do one. And so if I'm going to do one, I'm going to do the one that's more points. Because we can just grab pairs, and we only need one to be a specific color. The problem with getting into Chicago is we were looking at either 4 white or grabbing a pair of blues and then a pair of green or white. It just that seemed a little more clunky, and so I would much rather just grab the one that's 9 points because I have some great tickets here, so I don't want to ruin this by frivolously drawing and everything. Now, I do have to watch. So it looks like that purple is a little more East Coast, maybe through the middle. Maybe he's got like a Kansas City to Houston, maybe a Montreal to Miami. Maybe they have a bunch of Miami routes, which are usually pretty decent. But it doesn't necessarily have any big ones. Looks like that blue might have some pretty big ones, like probably a Phoenix to Boston, probably a Calgary to Calgary to Nashville or something like that, and then red has the Little Rock one. Vegas to Seattle? They probably have Vegas to Seattle, Los Angeles to Helena, and what is it, like Winnipeg to Little Rock? Maybe in Los Angeles to Oklahoma City. So the challenge here is going to be balancing what my opponents are doing, because I don't necessarily feel like I'm way behind, but I also don't want to be. I'm not feeling the confidence that I'm so far up on my opponents that I can just kind of move to end this game and kind of coast a little bit. You know, in the couple of videos that we've done in the past couple days, we've felt really secure about a victory at this point, and I'm not feeling that as much here. So, which is fine, perfectly okay. And if we're wanting to get the 15-point bonus, that's going to be something we're going to need to draw probably at least 2 more times. And we still have, a decent amount to do. I'm just going to go ahead, use the wild. Let's get this. No shenanigans, especially with how much Washington can be something that people want to get into. I'm out on trying to fool around with that, especially because that's the one that's the specific color. I feel much better about these wilds here because I'm not concerned. Yeah, I don't love that you took the pair on the board, but so be it. Yeah, don't love that. Don't love that. Because now we are in a position where blue could decide, I am done with this game. And they might. So the good news is, if blue gives us one more turn, we'll be okay. They do not. So dang it. So what do we do here? I really don't feel like drawing is going to help me all that much. I think drawing could make this game worse rather than make it better. Because I'm losing 9 points, which, is not great, but also not terrible. And if I draw something that's all bad, then I've got more problems. So I think that's just kind of concede the good move by blue and kind of hope that this happens, where I think that everyone was surprised and probably missed out on way more stuff than what I missed out on. So yeah, there's my -9, but that doesn't hurt as much considering the other stuff that I have. Especially in compared to someone like red. So what does blue have? And interestingly enough here, now I don't know, okay, so purple is going to get the 15-point bonus. Now the question is, how much firepower do they have? See, that's not a lot. So they get the 15-point bonus, but who's got longest train? 29, 26, 28. Red, doesn't matter if red. Woo! Oh, yeah. Wow, we snuck that one out. Holy cow. What a game. So, really, honestly, solid game by blue. I think blue definitely read correctly that everyone else was kind of still completing tickets. Really, the only thing that kind of that blue, not a mistake, but let's look at the stats here. Because the points with claimed routes, I was very close to blue, whereas on the other players, blue had a double-digit lead over, only a 7-point edge here. And so then when I get 55 points versus their 45 points, that makes up the 3 points there. And then because neither of us had a bonus, it worked out. I mean, blue, it's red clearly had like a continuous train going, but everyone else was kind of broken up. I see what blue was trying to do, and it's again a very good strategy of pick some big routes and go for it and hope you kind of surprise some people, and definitely surprised us. But you see, wow, that's actually really interesting that we were that close in points, but yet almost a full half a train behind the claimed routes there. Interesting. I guess we had more routes claimed. Huh. But yeah, this is opposite of usually what happens. Me and the other top player only drew one additional card between us, and I didn't even hit this one. So really, it was our starters that we won off of. But the other key is that they kept 4 additional, and there were 3 missed. I'm assuming that the Kansas City to Salt Lake City and Denver to El Paso were probably later draws. And same with, I'm assuming purple drew into Nashville and was hoping to get a little bit more time. But wow. Woo, that was a very excellent game to play. Like, not that all Ticket to Ride games are fun, but for those of you that play a lot, you know what I mean. Like, that was just a really fun game to be a part of. And the fact that we won makes it even sweeter. So, all right, well, hey, if you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button. Thank you to everyone who has been subscribing. We have seen a large jump in subscribers here over the past month. So thank you to everyone who's been doing that. I really, really appreciate it. It's really helping grow the channel, and that's going to allow us to do some more fun stuff. So, yeah, absolutely. Hit that subscribe button. Say hi in the chats. Again, if you see me here on Board Game Arena, like, please shoot me a friend request. I'm happy to be friends on here and play games and other stuff like that. You know, you as long as you don't mind being featured in a video, you can be my friend on Board Game Arena. Basically, if you be my friend on Board Game Arena, you're consenting to possibly being on camera, or at least your profile being on camera. All right, bye everyone. We'll see you next time. Boop.